I love this little piece on the piano by Tchaikovsky. And in the book that I have with the music, there's a little story that goes with it. And I don't know if it's true or not, but it says that Tchaikovsky was commissioned to write one piece per month by a publication, and that he thought so little of the assignment that he would have his servant remind him each month that it was time to write something. And he would sit down and dash off any kind of little number he could, and this was supposedly one of them. As I shared in my last video, I got a little worn out, and so I've been working really hard to just take some time to calm down and relax and enjoy my final few days here in this cottage. I had not decided, even when my last video went live, I still had not fully decided whether or not I was going to be moving, and I had to tell my landlord that day. And so I ended up saying, okay, I want to do it, but there's some changes in the cottage. So if I can make those changes, then I'm going to do it. And so I left it in her hands, and I decided if she said, no, you can't make the changes, then I was going to happily stay here. And if she said, yes, you can make those changes, then I was going to go. So it's all happening pretty quickly. I will be out of here and in the new place by December 15th, and it might be for the best that it's going to go quick.
You go, Bubba's? Go get some paint? Go pick some paint colors? You help me? Okay.
I'm trying to make this camera sit up straight. So I just stopped at Chipotle. So I'm on my way to pick up paints. Well, actually not pick up paint. I'm on my way to pick up paint chips to try and figure out the paint colors for the new house that I'm going to be moving into really soon. So December 10th to 15th, if all goes well, is when I'm actually going to be moving in. December 1st through 10th is when there's going to be work done. So there's quite a lot of little projects that have to get done, including painting. And I'm really fortunate in that in this instance, I do not have to actually do the painting myself. I'll be doing decorative painting, which is just the fun stuff. But the basics, the painting that just needs to get done for areas that never were really painted properly previously, that I don't have to do. And I'm feeling pretty grateful for that, because I don't think most people love painting, but you know, it's one of those things that makes such a difference that even though I hate painting, I always paint everywhere I go, because I just, you know, it's important to me to have the colors around me that I like. So Charlie and I are off to Home Depot to find some paint chips to see what's going to be the best. But it's funny because I just stopped at Chipotle because I'm really hungry. But when I moved into my little cottage, a little over 2 years ago, the oven and stove didn't work. And so for the first week, I found myself here at Chipotle in the parking lot a lot. So I was here and I would get my Chipotle and I would turn on YouTube, and I was mainly watching the different tiny house channels. And then also I follow quite a few people in mostly Europe and in Sweden who are mainly, I don't want to say they're all single, but many are single women or just women living in cottages with kind of artistically based, you might say, lives. And I've followed them for a long time and just loved seeing the way they live and seeing their little cottages and the things they do to decorate them. And it's just so funny how, yeah, it just dawned on me, like 2 years ago, I was sitting in this exact parking lot, finally moving into a little cottage, which I have dreamt about living in for so long. And I've lived in the Hudson Valley area of New York for over 8 years. And I had thought moving up that I was immediately going to get a cottage, and didn't. So it finally was coming true. And now here it is 2 years later. I'm still going to be in a little cottage. Well, it's going to become a cottage, a little house. And yeah, it's just dawning on me that now I get to share that on YouTube, which is completely unexpected and an interesting thing. And the sun is very bright. yeah, I just didn't expect it. So it's funny how life works. So I'm gonna eat my chicken bowl now, and then Charlie and I are gonna go pick out some paint chips. You ready? Okay. The new house gets lots of light, and so I want the perfect shade of creamy white. It seems like such an easy thing, but it's hard to pick out whites. Much easier to pick out the fun colors that are going to be accents and somehow match my dress exactly. I don't love these shorter days, but I sure do love these winter sunsets. Actually, it's not even winter yet, but we're almost there, and it's just been so beautiful in the evenings. Well, actually, this is the afternoon, but it's beautiful. And there was just enough light to show you my new little home. The couple who have been living there are still there, so I want to be respectful of their privacy. But here's a little sneak peek of my new home. I'm definitely excited for the little house itself, but if you look to the right of the house, all that space that keeps going up there is the big garden, and that is what I am so excited about. And even though it's not exactly ideal to move in the winter time, especially if snow decides to show up or it's really cold, it makes things a little bit more challenging. But I'm glad that this project is going on now while the earth is asleep and the trees are bare, and it's a good time to keep me occupied before you know it, it's time to actually start getting back outside and planting the garden. My morning glories are probably my favorite plant that I have growing around all over in the different gardens around this little cottage. And I know some people think of them as weeds, but I absolutely love morning glories, and I just think they're so beautiful. And so I knew that I wanted to pick the seeds, to harvest the seeds and have them for the garden next year. Even though there's so many that grow that they'll grow on their own for sure next year without me even having to plant them. But now that I know I'm leaving, I had to make sure I got lots of the seeds to take with me. I also had to get the seeds from my Love in a Puff plants. I think they are just the absolute cutest little plants. The tenants before me had planted them, and I've been harvesting the seeds each year and then replanting them. And if you look, you can kind of see that on the actual seed itself, there's a little white heart there. And then, of course, it all grows inside the little puff. Before I found out that I was going to be moving, I had a plan to go out and collect lots and lots of morning glory seeds. And then I was going to put them in cute little envelopes and give them as gifts, keeping some for myself, of course, but I mean, there is the potential to harvest thousands of morning glory seeds out there. And I don't think I'm going to have time to get that done this year, but I just wanted to make sure that I got out there and got lots of them so that I would be able to get started with some morning glories next year in the new garden. Morning glory seeds are actually highly toxic if ingested, so I had to be so careful to make sure that none of them escaped onto the floor because I have a little puppy who loves to eat absolutely everything. Goodbye, little cottage. It's a little sad for me, but this place has been such a little sanctuary. I arrived here in desperate need of a little place to call home, and that truly has been what it's been for me.